running from, there's no hiding place. Love has come and if you don't put your hand in mine, we're all the troubles behind.
What? Come on, man. What do you really want, like, man? Stem. Stem.
So if you just put your hand in mine, I'm gonna leave all that trouble behind.
Keep on walking, don't look back.
Don't look back. Don't look back. Hey, keep on walking and don't look back. Hey,
Past is behind you. There's nothing to mind. Come on, man. Okay, how many people? Oh, 21.
love can be a beautiful thing. So your first love lets you down.
Let's see. Yeah,
So if you just put your hand in mine, we're gonna leave all our troubles behind. Don't put your load back on our back. We won't go back. Keep on walking.
so yeah. Hey, top of it. Just waiting a few more minutes, man, till some more people tune in. Appreciate y'all tuning in early. I'm gonna hit that "Don't Look Back" again, man. No, I got my glasses. Give me that pad, thanks. Yeah. I don't need that.
If it's love that you're running from, there's no hiding place. Love has come and oh yeah. If you don't put your hand in mine, we're gonna leave all our troubles behind. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. If your first love broke your heart, there's something that can be done. Don't hear no because of what he's done.
Okay. Just for a few minutes, okay. Tired of it. Just still waiting on some more people to come. Still waiting on some more people to come on. I'm gonna acknowledge those that that's on here right now that came on early. A+ MVP, top of it to you, man. Music, Desert Girls, Shine Diamonds, Sirism, top of it, man. Red Carpet, Quane, G the Gent, Sir Big Dog, top of it, man. Freddie P. What's up, Freddie P? Rock Exclusive. I'm just waiting on a few more people to get up, but in the meantime, I want to talk to you guys about those of you that haven't signed up for Patreon yet. Still having a game piece sale, 6 for 50 or 15 for 100. But I also have the game pieces with the game plan. So I'm getting ready to post that. I'm getting ready to post it up so you guys can see what the game plan is all about. David Dickinson, top of it, man. Kenya Fair, Carolina King Black, how are you, miss? Black Man Brown, Ernest Stackhouse, Game Guide for Video Games, top of it, man. You gonna put it on there? Yeah, it's only 39. David Brown. Oh, you muted. Oh, that's right. Wow, it takes a while. Oh, okay. Get that thing in there, man. Okay. Hey, so did you unmute it? Okay, here's the game piece plan. You guys can see $15 a month. You get 2 game pieces per month. For $25 a month, you get 3 game pieces a month. And for $35 a month, you get 4 game pieces per month. And for those of you that have already signed up for the game plan, I just want you to know that the new game pieces will be posted today. So those game pieces that you saw last month, it's time for you to pay your 15 and 25, whichever plan you pick, and get your new game pieces. That car y'all see, that's that 1935 Auburn Boattail Roadster, man, that Pimpin' had, you know. Yeah. So, but here's the plan, man. All right, let's get back to this show, man. Okay, it's 50 people. I'm gonna get started, man. I'm gonna get in. All right, top of it, man. We got Slim Nicole Choice, Kareem Muhammad, David Brown, Kenya Fair, Paper Chase, Ron Exclusive. All right. Hey, top of it to y'all, man. You know, I usually start off by, getting into the little politics thing and, telling you guys what's usually going on in the politics. And politics really is not my thing, but stuff going on now in the world today, man, it's really affecting it. So I'm just going to start off by saying it's only 40 some days, man, before voting, man. I know a lot of you guys probably had never voted because I know you got a lot of you guys think like the average person. Oh man, my vote ain't gonna mean nothing. They gonna do what they want to do. Well, I can't agree with that, man. We got to vote. The only way that Trump is in office right now is because y'all didn't vote. So we sure can't go for that again, man. I need y'all to get out there and vote, man, so we can change this shit around, so we can start back to getting some real doggone money. All these protests and all this madness going on, that slows down the money, especially for the game. And it's just mind-boggling to me why, okay, like in California, I guess it's a law that you have to wear a mask. So I'm just wondering, like in LA, when is the police? I'm saying I hope they never do for the sake of the pimping. I'm like, damn, why the police don't mess with the hoes? They on the track, they ain't got no mask. Make me think that the police is like, fuck them hoes. Let them do what they want to do. But they can't say let them do what they want to do, but they not jamming no hoes and telling hoes you got to wear a mask to be out here. Because it's really not a law. Or is it a law in Cali? But that's a good thing, especially for the game. So it just trips me out. I'm just wondering, why not? Why haven't they said nothing? They probably scared to approach them hoes. Something is up because they don't say nothing. Oh, one brother said, I know Trump ain't cool, but I'm not sure about Sleepy Joe and the Oreo either. Well, man, you know what? I ain't sure about Sleepy Joe either. But one thing about it, man, anybody beat Trump, man. He got to, he steady stirring stuff up, man. Wherever he go, make it hard on the game, man, especially when you got them bunnies, man. You know what I'm saying? Jackson Dion, top of it, man. Support the Prince. Rashad Keenan, top of it, man. Okay. But like I said, man, I usually speak on politics, but I know you guys see y'all see what's going on Trump. He continues to stick his foot in his mouth. Now, before I came on air, I just saw that Trump said ain't gonna be no stimulus checks until after the election is over. So once again, he done stuck his foot in his mouth. And what kills me is that for a man to be rich and for a man to have money, man, to me, he's just an ignorant motherfucker, man, with a bankroll, man. But so much for that. Lou Michael, top of it. Mac Official, top of it. All right. We're gonna kick it around today. About my topic today is that you see her, but you don't hear her. Now, we come up on a lady and we kick it with him for a minute. You single, the average single man, what the first thing he do is he move the kid, he move her in with him. Okay, now your program is already established. You got your business, you got your car, you got your home, you established. So you thinking that, okay, I got my tools. Now I just need the female to go along with my tools. Because this is one of the reasons why I built my tools up, to get noticed, to get that attention. Whether you square or whether you're in the game, you can't catch no ball if you don't get noticed. You can't get noticed if you don't get no attention. So you got to prepare yourself to get to attention. And then when you get the attention, then you got to know how to just go right after baby without hesitating. Know what you're going to say to her about what come out of her mouth. Listen, to me, to really have a broad, I'm talking about having her. I'm talking about getting some longevity out of her. You got to go by these three things. You got to be able to listen, you got to be able to learn, and you got to be able to have some leadership. Those three L's: listening, learning, and leadership. Having these qualities and sharpening these qualities, this is the only way that you're going to get some longevity out of a lady. And you got to come with the conversation. You know, a perfect example is that, say a guy I know, you know, he in position, he got everything that he want and everything a female want, which is like a lot of you guys that's out there. So can you imagine being rich, having everything that the average man want or more, which makes you the more toys you acquire, the more confident you get. The sharper and flyer you get, the more confidence you get. When you position yourself in life, then you become an arrogant motherfucker. And we're all guilty of it. Those of us that are winning, you know, and have learned how to win. You carry yourself a certain way. You're arrogant. You think you can have any doggone female. Wherever you go, you get eye contact. You can see these females. You can see them jocking you. You can see the haters jocking you too. If you're looking, you got to be looking, and you got to be listening, you know, to what's going on, especially when it comes to having your lady. Now, I know a lot of you guys that's rolling in their position, you know, with the car, the home, the jewelry, the clothes, the business. See, what I said earlier a few minutes ago, see, I know y'all think that you can have any woman. And you can catch any woman, damn near, because the average woman, when they see the car and when they see you, they do just like men do. Well, some of y'all, because me, when I see a bad broad and I look at her, dollar sign, a calculator start going off in my head. That's how I see it. But over 50% of y'all, when y'all see a bad broad, your dick get hard. Y'all first, when you see it first, you think about, oh man, I bet she got some good pussy. I bet she a freak. Thinking with that little head instead of with that big head. Now I'm gonna repeat. When I see a female, I'll be like, man, I need her on my team. I could do things with her. I need to go on and make myself available. Let me tell her, let me let her know what she missing out on. As soon as I see her, bam, I'm at it. I'm ready. Because once I get past hello and I pop that question on her to make her open up her mouth and spill her brains, then I'm on it. But some of y'all, instead of listening, you're seeing her. See, That's the topic of this show. What females, how they look at us as men. And I got this topic. I got 6 daughters. And speaking to my daughters, they all over 25. You know, all my daughters is grown. But through the years, you know, the way I've besides my experiences, you know, I've learned a lot from my daughters because I asked them questions about men, you know, from a lady's perspective. Like I asked them, when you see each one of them, like I asked them, what's the first thing that a female look at when she see a man? All 6 of them at different times, they all answer the same way. And that question is, first thing they look at is a man's shoes. Next thing they look at a man's hands. Next thing they look at, you know, is the way that a man is dressed. They look at his nails to see if he cares about himself enough to keep his nails groomed. And as men, we do the same thing. See a lady, I mean me, you know, I know y'all, I know we all get distracted by some big old titties, you know, but I don't like no female with no big feet. I deal with, you know, I don't really like a female with big feet. So I look at the feet, you know, I don't like females with them big old hands. I don't like no female got her hands bigger than mine. Just different things. But I'm saying that to say we look at them with the same qualities that we looking for. They looking for the same qualities. But then get past the second date. Okay, now you're going to see y'all spending time together. Then y'all hook up. So after a couple of months, you move her in with you. But every day you've been at her, you know, once you move her in, then once you got in, then you telling her about your program. Well, baby, I like it, you know, I don't like no laundry to build up in the laundry room, you know. So I need you to make sure the laundry is done, you know, keep the house clean. What ladies do. I'm not asking you to cook no meal every day, but, you know, if I got something special I'd like you to cook, I expect for you to do that. You know, most important, you know, what's going to make us really get along together, I need you to listen. I need you to listen to what I got to say. Then you go on to tell her about, you know, about your business and how long you had in your business and how long your business been running. And you want things done this way. You want things done that way. And every day you telling her, you know, you come home from work and something is in the ashtray. So you come home from work and, you know, and the house is not clean as it should be. So these are the first stages that baby just getting with you. So you get right on her. Yeah, baby, you know, we talked about this. You know, I want you to have the house this way. You know, I'm asking you to keep it this way because this is how I like it. This is how I run my program. I expect you to adapt. You steady running down your program to her and how you want things. You doing this day by day because you guys getting to know each other. That first year is just romance. I'm saying the first year is like you getting to know each other. You're getting to know each other daily. And she still got them stars in her eyes. And she's still listening to everything you say. And you already in position and you making sure that every day, you steady, you know, you steady kicking it with her because that's what you're supposed to do, conversation. But every day you're talking about you. Every day you're talking about you. You know, me. But you're not aware because you didn't program yourself. You didn't program your conversation to be one way instead of using your arsenal. Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing about ladies. Now, you know, I'm talking about this conversation I'm talking about y'all that's not in the game. I ain't talking about the pimping right now, which I know you guys know that. You know, one thing that ladies don't like, ladies get tired of you talking about your damn self in a conversation. Every day that you come home and baby get in from work, hey baby, how you doing? How'd your day go? This and that, this and that. Then when she asks you how'd your day go, then here you go. You not only go into how your day was, you know, you go into mashing on her about making sure that she's adapting to your program or the things that you ask her to do. Every day, you're reminding her of what you ran down to her in the beginning. When you sitting down and having a conversation, because like I say, this is in the first year, you know, and you guys getting to know each other. So in the first year, I mean, just say the first 3 to 6 months, she appreciates you more and she'll get into you more quicker if you just quit talking about your damn self all the time. Don't you just think? This is why I say, this is why I talk about the arsenal of conversation to have, especially with a female. I don't care if you're in the game. I don't care if you're a D-boy. I don't care what you do. Without conversation, you might be able to catch a lady, but you ain't gonna hold them. Because once the fascination is over and the smoke clear and it's down to, you know, uno, one-on-one, and you got to come with more conversation because a year done passed. I said, the fantasy part is over. Now it's time for some realness. So by you running your mouth every day about you and talking, you forget that you ain't even listened to her because you've been so busy talking about you with your conceited ass. She might like the way you got her living, but she don't like your conversation. It ain't too late to change. Build your arsenal up. Quit talking about something besides you. You see her, but you don't hear her. You so busy trying to get your point across, your point of view across. You're so busy trying to make sure, you know, that she get with your program and that she understand how you want her to live being with you. She understand that. She understand it because you dumbass, you go over with her every day. You see her, but you don't hear her. Hear her, man. Females love a good listener. I know that you're an arrogant, conceited motherfucker. I know you all that. I know you rolling. I know you're doing good. I'm talking about y'all that's in that category. But man, get up off yourself, man. Baby can see where you at. She see what position you in. You ain't got to make it known every day because you talking to her to bring her up to where you at slowly and gradually. Every day as a couple, y'all should be closer. Y'all should be closer in strength. Make sure that whatever it is that you do to get your money, make her be a part of it. Make her be part of the struggle to the top. Don't let her sit back on Easy Street and complain about this and complain about that and complain about this, complain about your time being with her, complain about you coming home late. But she don't complain, you know, when she checked that bank account. She don't complain when you here 500, go buy your pair of shoes. She don't complain about that. But they will complain about that time with you and seeing you. Now, you got to teach a new lady how to be with you. And that's through conversation. And that's through your actions. See, being a good listener, you know, entitles this right here. Just what the title of the show is. You see her, but you don't hear her. All you doing is talking. Man, don't you want to hear her point of view? You come in, you ask her a question. So after you ask her the question, before she can answer the question, you so into yourself and you so hung up, stuck on you, until when you having when you ask her a question, before she can answer the question, you going on talking about something else. That's what I call having a conversation with a lady and don't know how to close. See, conversation, I tell you, conversation make the world go round. Without conversation, you'll never touch the sky. Never. You got this lady. Y'all, it's almost been a year. You guys, y'all working on coming together. Listen to her. Sit down and ask her questions. You know, ask her questions that you know, that dig deep into the core of her soul. Ask her questions where you know what she really thinking, where you know what she really feeling. Man, I would feel way more secure laying down with a lady. And in my mind, I know that I know her at least 75%. We want to know them 120%, but that takes time. That takes time. That takes conversation. That's, you know, that takes getting to know these ladies, which ain't overnight. So every day you have a conversation, what, you know, you have a talk period. You come home from work, you unwind, you know, sit down and smoke a joint and have a drink with baby, you know, talk about how her day went, talk about how your day went. It's conversation. But through this conversation, that's when you start asking those questions that the average man don't ask. You know, you just got her, you know, and I know a lot of men say, man, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to in your mind. It's like, I don't know. I know what I want to ask her, but then you're really afraid to ask her because she fresh in your household, and you think that if you don't come real for what's really on your mind and you don't come out and say it, then you think that you're gonna cause a problem with her. But how can it cause a problem and you don't even know each other? You got to have conversation to bring out what's in her, what she really feeling. So you got to ask them questions, especially about her past. See, a lot of guys, they don't want to know about a lady's past. I don't want to know about her whole past, but I do want to know about her last man. I got some personal questions to ask. Did he abuse you? Did he like you? Why'd you leave him? Why you ain't with him no more? What was the problem? What happened? Personal questions, you know. Then you got to ask them, you know, what's your goal? What do you want out of a man? What do you want out of me? Oh, what's your purpose? What you looking for in me besides just being with me? What more do you want from me besides just being to me? What are we going to create? Now, if she can't come with the right answers, then, and if she got something to hide, that's the first telltale sign right there. Now, I know that most ladies do not want to talk about their past. You know, they say quick, oh, I don't want to talk about that. But the questions that she don't want to answer, them the questions that you mash on her for, to bring them out. You got to know where you stand with this lady. You got to hear her, not just see her. And the only way you do that is through conversation. Man, the average lady, she's just dying to have a conversation with you. All she want to do is talk to you. All she want to do is tell you, how her day went, whether it be good or bad. She want to tell you the ups. She want to tell you the downs. She want to tell you what she feeling. She want to tell you what she felt at that moment, when her coworker pissed her off. She want to tell you what she wanted to say, but she couldn't say it to her. That's why I say, as men, we wear a lot of different hats. But you got to know when to put that hat on, and you got to know when to take that hat off with your mate. And all that comes through conversation. My grandmother used to say, don't never let a lady, don't ever let your mate go to bed angry. Whatever problem you have, whatever question is on your mind, how can you go out and have fun and have sex and party and kick it with baby, and how can you continue to do this and you don't know what's inside a baby? She might meet a doggone psychopath and saying this certain word. I'm thinking a little far-fetched, but saying this certain word might set her off. But because you haven't been having a conversation with her, you don't know what that word is. This your woman. Don't be afraid to ask her no questions. Any question you ask her, she should answer. And if she does not answer, then you need to make her answer through conversation. Otherwise, y'all faking on each other. Show your perfect example. So God know, had his lady almost a year. They doing good. He doing good. She working. He working. Okay. Then all of a sudden, a lady from his past, a lady that used to be with him, she calls him. Okay. Him and this lady, when they was together, they was like Bonnie and Clyde. I'm saying that, meaning that they was getting money together. Okay. But then she thought the grass was green on the other side, and she jumped the fence. Okay. Got with somebody, dogged her, messed over. Then she realized what a real man is, and that she wasn't with one. So she put her leg, half her leg back over the fence by making a call. Now she's trying to get the other leg over. Okay. When she called him, damn, bells go off. Because he knew that he did everything right with her. But she just wasn't ready. Okay. Now, he done had baby almost a year. He's been having conversation with her. Okay, so now he want baby on his team. But before all that happens, let me go back to this right here. So I got a text from a guy, and he said, "Man, Tay, I was really honest with my woman, and I went to Vegas. Me and my buddies went to Vegas. You know, we all got drunk. It was 5 of us, and they all of them ordered a hooker. These are his words. All of them ordered a hooker, and the hooker came over. All 4 of the hookers came over. It was 5 of us, and they paid for me, you know, and I had sex with her. But that's what he admitted that to his woman. Okay, so my thing is right here. When we got a lady, we preaching honesty, not preaching honesty, but we speaking on being honest, you know. And you're supposed to be honest with your woman because you expect her to be honest with you. But to me, all that honesty is cool, but don't you think it's more important? I mean, it's okay to be honest, but being too honest, then you take away the mystique. You take away the mystery. Because I continue to say, when a man and a woman's together, you got to continue to be a mystery. You can't let her know and tell her everything about you. You can't be no doggone just honest John, because sometimes too much honesty, man, that kills a relationship. You know, I mean, I'm saying be honest, but it's like I said, why did you even tell her? I mean, well, Tay, I told her, man, because you know, I want her to be honest with me. You know, man, I ain't hiding nothing, man. I'm a real man. I said, I'm not doubting your manhood. I'm not doubting your manhood at all. But what I'm saying is that being honest with your woman is cool. You know, some things, man, y'all need to just shut the fuck up about. Ain't no way in the world, man, you know, that I'm married. I go on a little weekend with my partners. Whatever we do, that's between us. I ain't coming back and telling her nothing. Because the one thing about it, if she go on a weekend trip to Vegas, you know, with 5 or 6 of her friends, do you think that she gonna come back, walk in the door from Vegas? Hey, how you doing, baby? Before I unpack, I got something to tell you. I fucked a hooker while I was in Vegas. Now, do you think that she gonna come back? Hey, baby, how you doing? I really didn't want to tell you this, and I didn't think I should, but while I was in Vegas, I fucked a stripper. If she came back and told you that, out of 100 of y'all, 95 of y'all would cut that broad's head to the white meat. Y'all would go the hell off. You would cut her head, man. 95% of y'all would, and you know you would. So knowing that, why the hell would you do something knowing it's against the grain? And don't come back with that playing shit, that old ass story, oh, I got drunk, and because, you know, whether y'all know it or not, using that for an excuse to tell on your damn self. Everybody know that they say that when you drink liquor, it brings out the real you. So that makes you look like a damn fool and a dumbass for even saying anything like that. Anyway, make a long story short. So that's with him. I'm still talking about this honesty. So this other brother, he gets in contact with me. He had this girl, you know, and they started off. He was married. So then they started off, they start off when he get with the new girl, he started getting texts, he started getting phone calls from his baby mama because they was married. They have a kid together. Okay, so showing baby, the new girl, that he for real, and that he ain't bringing no baggage, meaning he ain't got no drama with no baby mamas. Because knowing the broad be like, well, who's doing all that? Who texting you like that? You know how females be. You know, your phone getting baby mama blowing your phone up. But you and baby mama, y'all got an understanding. You know, y'all got a kid together. So you have to take her calls. You have to answer texts and vice versa. Okay. So he started off after her questioning, who is that? That's my baby mama. That's your baby mama blowing you up like that? So then he starts showing her the texts. Bad move. Because it's like this right here. If you can't listen to me and hear me, if you can't believe in me, if you can't believe what I say, when I say it, and if I tell you that that's my baby mama and I have to answer those calls, I have to have a conversation with her. And no, I don't want to have a conversation in front of you. See, some things is private. That's all part of standing up and being a man. It's okay to be honest, but don't lose your manhood by trying to be so fucking honest. That don't make sense. Anyway, the reason being for this right here, showing the lady your texts. First of all, she ain't gonna show you her texts. Plus, I wouldn't ask anyway. I ain't with the, I'm not gonna check her phone, and in turn, she sure ain't gonna check mine because I'm not gonna let her. And the average lady be like, "Why? You got something to hide?" No, baby, I don't have nothing to hide. But some things are personal. We gotta have something personal. You gotta have something personal. That phone, that's your personal space. My phone, that's my personal space. I trust you. I believe in you. I ain't got to look at your phone. And in turn, you should feel the same way about me. Now, what happened was, if y'all been listening, I told you about the other girl that used to be with him that wanted to get back on his team. Okay. So now she started texting him. Then she started calling him. Okay. Here come the new girl. That's your baby mama calling you texting you like that? Who is that blowing up your phone like that? Okay, now I'm just gonna wait a few minutes now. If y'all been listening, now y'all see the situation. So so you know what's fixing to happen to Honest John. It's okay to be honest with your woman because you expect her to be honest. But it seems to me that being too honest with your woman, after a while, honesty turns into softness, and then softness turns into disrespect. She out with her friends. It get late. They checking their watches because they got men, So they say, shit, girl, it's getting late. I'm gonna have to go either head on home to my man or I'm gonna have to call him on the phone and let him know that I'm on my way. So girl over here, she said, why you got to do that? That's why I ain't got no man. That's why I ain't got the answer to no nigga. So then what baby do is she thinking, oh yeah. So she says, you know what? I call him later. And old girl over here that's been called her, man, she said, girl, you better call that man. You know how he get. Then she say, he ain't gonna do nothing. He tells me everything. I'll just tell him something, give him some pussy. He all right. My husband, he like Honest John. And her friends, they like, what? Honest John? Yeah. That nigga telling us up all the time. So I'm saying that to say, man, y'all think you being honest, but you really being soft. And like I said, you go from being honest to being soft to getting to getting disrespected. You don't have to tell your woman everything, and you can still be honest. Okay. There's another situation, with another guy that I spoke to. Now his situation, he in position, he got baby, she new on board. They've been together, 8-9 months. She working with him in his business, every day. She having a smile on her face. Like I said, they've been together about 9 and 10 months. So in every day they have their sit down period, and then they kicking it. Okay. Now he say, Tay, the new broad been calling me. When she was with me, she was dancing to my music. She was producing, man. We was getting money together. She just thought that something was better, but now she's trying to get back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a little picnic, and I'm gonna have my sister come. I'm gonna have my mom come. I'm gonna have my brother and his kids come. I'm gonna take me and my son, and I'm gonna take baby, and I'm gonna invite the new girl and her kid. And I said, so when you gonna do this? This was on a Friday. He said, I'm doing this tomorrow. So I say, well, let me get this straight. You fixing to have an outing. You only didn't have this broad 9 months. Yeah, man, I didn't have it 9 months, man, but I know where her head is at, man. I said, man, do you really know where her head is at? Once again, he been seeing her, but he ain't been hearing her. So I say, man, that's not gonna work. You can't spring that on her like that. I said, that's not gonna work, man. I said, for one thing, she's a square, man. He's like, yeah, man. But the guy that she left was a 0. And her being with him, she was becoming a 0 until she ran into me. And I said, okay, man, oh, that's good. I said, but one thing that you got to remember when it comes to a female, I mean, even when it comes to life, some things are just the way they are. Perfect example, like racism. It's just the way it is. Some things are just the way it is. Men getting paid more than women. Another thing, some things are just the way they are. You understand what I'm saying? When it comes to a female that's not in the fast life, a female that's not with a husband, D-boy, drag artist, con artist. Okay, now, ladies with them people that's in the life, they might give you a little squabble, but they ain't gonna complain. You can get them to, they gonna go along with it. But a square that's on your team, living in your house, talking to her family, having you and her, having her in the presence of your ex, never. That'll never work out. It might work out with some of y'all squares that ain't in the life, but to every one of y'all, no. It's one of the, why? Because it's one of those things it's just the way it is. A square woman ain't gonna hardly ever, almost never, except you being around your ex in the presence of her. It's not gonna happen. Okay. So he said, no, Tay, my program way tighter than that, man. I talk to baby every day, man. I'm matching on baby every day. I'm in baby's ear every day. Every day I sit down and kick around my program and run it down to her. And And I said, but you ain't been listening. You've been seeing her, but you ain't been listening to her. And he's like, man, why you say that? I said, because if you've been listening to her, then you would know that you cannot spring that on her all at once. Man, you can't do that. You got to, she ain't there yet. She ain't there yet in your relationship. You ain't even got her, and you talking about bringing another broad onto the team, and you ain't even got this broad yet. So that situation would never work. Okay. So he said, okay, Tay, I know what I'm talking about, man. And I said, man, I hate to step on your toes. I said, but since you talking all that shit, man, I'm just going to be real with you. I said, you ain't got enough game to do that, man. You know, excuse me. I said, you ain't got enough game. Okay. He said, Tay, let's make that bet 250. I said, okay, man, it's your money, you know. Okay. So he let me hear why he on the phone. So he said, what you doing? So he said, I planned a little outing, you know, for us, you know, a little family outing, and not a family outing, but just a little outing in my, you know, my mom, my sister, and my brother, you know, and their kids, you know, were going to be there, and remember I told you that this lady that I used to have remember I told you that oh yeah, you know, because I got back in contact with you. You remember the lady that helped you go over the book to take your real estate test? So the bro says, yeah, I remember her. Wasn't she one of the girls that used to be with you? And I'm listening. And he said, yeah, she used to be with me. And she stopped believing me, and, you know, jumped the fence and got with some other guy. And you know, she'd been with him for a little while. You know, now she, you know, and she found out that he's not the real deal. And she realized that I'm the real deal. And so now she's been calling me and texting me, you know, trying to get back on my team. One thing about her, she's a money maker, and she would really help the family, and she likes you. You remember how she helped you prepare for the test? So the bra says, she says, yeah, I do remember. She said, and yeah, she did help me pass the real estate test. She said, but I didn't like her. She said, I didn't even want her helping me. The only reason I let her help me was because you asked me to let her help you. And then he said, he comes back with, he said, yeah. I told her she liked you, you know? So, you know, I was figuring I'll bring her and her kid along, you know? And you and her could kick it. You and her, we could sit down and kick it, you know? And we could put this little family plan together that I got in my head. She didn't even hesitate. She says, well, no, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. And he says, what did you say? She said, well, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. You know, she said, is this the same one, you know, that you are bragging about and telling me, you know, how much strength she had and this and that. And then you caught her doing something against the grain, and you quit her. And he said, oh, no, this is not the one. Second mistake. Women, just like men, don't like to be compared to another woman. Never do that. I'm talking about squares. I'm not talking about the pimping. I'm talking about squares. Back to what I said earlier, there's some things that's just the way they are. And that's another one of those things. That is just the way it is. A woman that's with you, and you getting to know her. She live with you, you getting to know her. She does not want to know about your ex. She does not want you to compare her with your ex. That's a bad move right there. Because once again, you're talking to her, but you're not listening. You can tell by a lady's conversation. You can tell by her body language. And let me say this. Trying to text a woman and talk to her about something that you want her to know that's important. That texting stuff, that's the wrong way. When you want to talk to your lady about something that's important, or you got questions to ask her, trust and believe, man. The best way to get into the core of her heart, the best way to get into the core of her soul, the best way to take the top of her head off and put you and your knowledge inside of her through your conversation. It's all done through your conversation. But you got to watch the body language, watch the eyes. You know, you can say something to a lady and, you know, and she'll, you know, you catch her blinking or they'd be like, you know, you got to watch the body language. So you know what you want to ask, but so you know, you want to see your reaction. That's why the best way is face to face. All that texting, you cannot have an argument texting. You know, let's eliminate that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but anyway, back to what I was saying. So then he said, I really thought you believe in what I stood for. She said, I do believe in what you stand for. He said, I thought you was really on my team. You know, he said, I thought you was really down with me. You know, she said, I do believe in you and I am down with you. She said, but I just don't feel comfortable with having your ex in my personal, in our personal private space. She said, because every time I look at her, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, I think about what you did with the way you treat me and the things you tell me. And then I look at her and I know, and I know that you did the same thing and said the same thing with her. Then he gets on the defense. Well, no, that's not true. I don't do and say the same thing with another lady. I do. Now he on the defense. Now he then got off of what him and her was talking about. But this the same person that say that, you know, Bette, I know what I'm talking about. I know, you know, I know why I stand with my broad. Once again, for those 9 months that they've been building their relationship, he's been seeing her, but he ain't been hearing what she say. Because if he would have been, there's no way in the world that he would have dropped that on her the day before without preparing her for it, excuse me, a couple of weeks before. That's where game come in. That's what we call game knowledge. Because somebody in the game, they would have never done it like that. Don't be too honest. Don't take your woman for granted. Don't think because you're in position and you the strength of the family. You running things. Don't think because you running things that you gonna get her to do something that's against the grain with her. Listen, the average square lady would rather carry 5 pounds of dope on the airplane than sit down to dinner with you and your ex. Trust and believe that. I'm gonna say that again. The average square lady would rather carry 5 pounds of drugs in a duffel bag and get on the airplane than sit down and have lunch with you and your ex. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. See, as men, you know, my grandfather used to say, or he's smelling himself. You know, that's when you think your shit don't stink. That's when you think that you know it all and that you got all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. I sure don't. I wish I did, but I don't have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. And then that's another thing. Some things are just the way they are. You know. Now, anyway, so in the end of the conversation, I'm still listening, and he's steady talking. So then in the end, he says, I thought you was really with me. You know, I thought you was really, you know, on my side. And she said, I am on your side. And then he says, well, you need to really think about, you know, supporting me more. So I want you to think about that. I'm going to talk to you later. Then he hung up. And I said, man, he hung up. So if y'all been listening, what was he missing? What didn't he do? He didn't close. He didn't close. He had her right where he wanted her, but he didn't close. He asked her that important question. Baby, you know, do you support me? Do you support me 120%? And he said, well, I want you to think about that. And when I get home, you know, we can talk about it. He could have got that answer on the phone. You got to know how to close an argument with a female. If you don't close, you leave the door open. On your way home, you giving her more time to think. You giving her more time to put up defenses. You giving her more time to make excuses. Close the argument. Close it right there. And then it's over and done with. By the time he got home, baby had 3 or 4 reasons why she couldn't go to the picnic. Guess what? How you doing, baby? He walked in the door. How you doing, baby? My aunt just called, and I haven't seen my aunt in about 5 years. And guess what? You know, she's coming to town. So I'm really not going to be able to go to the picnic. You guys can go and enjoy yourself and have fun. But I just want you to know that I'm still not with, and I'm still not comfortable. And I hope that you don't. And I'm asking you not to bring your ex along. That's going to make me look like dog shit in front of family, because I'm, you know, I will really look stupid. And he said, well, how are you going to look stupid? You with me. I should be the only one that you worried about looking stupid. She said, well, no, that's not true. Your family is important to me, just like my family is important to you. I don't want to, you know, look like a damn fool in front of them. And then he just hung up. And I said, man, go and hit that Cash App and send me $250. Send me that $250. And then he said, dog, man, I feel like I really lost that argument or that debate. Or, you know, he said, that should have went different. I said, it should have went different. I said, you had her. You had the answer. When you ask her, you know, do you support me? Do you support me in whatever I decide to do? You got my back. He asked her the question, but he hung up the phone before he got the answer. He didn't close. You got to know how to close a conversation. You got to know how to close a debate. You got to know how to, you know, how to close the curtains on the conversation that you and your woman have it. Don't leave it wide open. That's one of those things that don't have to be like that. Back to what my grandpa people told me. Never go to bed with an argument unsettled. Never have a conversation with your woman about something that's very important. And you don't end the conversation. You let her bring up something to distract you instead of discussing what the problem really is. Y'all go off talking about something else. But like I say, man, I won that 250. Why? Because just because you in position and just because you know, almost where you need to be, none of that matters when it comes to having a conversation and having a female. So you can get them, you can catch them, but can you keep them? Can you get the longevity out of them? Without conversation and knowing your woman, you're not. Because some lines you just don't cross. You can cross them lines once you know, baby. But 9 months, you don't even know this woman. You was out of line for even thinking you could bring her in the presence of one of your exes. Your game ain't as tight as you think it is. It can be. It's not too late, but you got to work at it. It takes time. I'm telling you, the first year, you just discovering each other. You just finding out, you finding out what make her laugh, what make her cry, what she like to eat, what she don't like to eat. Do she snore at night? Did you try to rub her feet and the feet stink? Do she need to wash her feet 3-4 times a day, more times a day? She put her head on your chin. The hair got that little funny smell. You got to tell her, baby, your hair smells funny. You got to wash your hair more. Let go. I'm saying be a man. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Quit worrying about what baby gonna say. Because whatever she say, you can straighten that out. Stop being afraid to ask them questions. Don't be afraid to talk up under the bra's clothes if that sounds a little bit better for some of y'all. Don't be afraid to ask them intimate questions, because she will sure ask you real quick. You'll never get to know this woman, and she'll never really be yours until you continue to have conversation with her and lock her in. And all that comes through conversation and questions. I know you guys some of y'all probably beating your head up against the wall trying to figure out, oh man, what's wrong with baby? Why she act like that? I can't get her to like dance to my music properly. I mean, something is missing. I don't know what it is. Conversation, man. Continue to have that conversation. Now, I get to talking, man. An hour, 14 minutes, man. You understand what I'm saying? And some people don't have the right words to rebuttal. I understand that some people don't have the right words to rebuttal. But as a man, it's your job to get in that mirror and talk to that man in that mirror every day. Trade places with you and the female while you in that mirror. Practice on what to say to her. Practice on what you think gonna come out of her mouth and what you gonna come back with. See, that's part of being a man. Standing on what you believe in, and speaking on it. Develop the right words. Practice your conversation. And whatever you want to say, don't never be afraid to say it. That's the only way you're going to win. Get your conversation in order. Get your conversation in order. Okay. Now, I told you guys last week that the best two questions, excuse me, I'm giving away a book. So I'm giving away 3 books today. So you guys just got the best 2 questions. G the Gent. G the Gent got a question. What was the most memorable thing that your mentor Ginch to? Rest in peace, pimpin'. The most memorable thing that Ginch taught me was how to be a man. And you know what he really taught me? Not to be afraid to speak up for what you want. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. You can have anything in the world if you just ask for it. He said, but you got to know how to ask for it. So that was one of the most memorable things, you know, that he said to me. Deluxe, top of it, man. Papa Lucci, Priest to the Game. Sir Ism. Let's see here. Who else we got here? Okay, now I'm telling you guys, man, best 2 questions, you know, y'all get a free book, man. And while I'm on it, you know, y'all get a free book. From the bottom, how you turn this sucker, man? Oh yeah, from the bottom to the penthouse. So best 2 questions, y'all get the book sent. And while we on the topic of the book, all the books went out, man. All you guys gonna be getting your book this week. All of you guys that paid for the books. By Friday, all of y'all should have your books. Now, I get everybody's book out except I have 2 guys, man. You guys sent me your address, but you didn't send me the name. And I can't find who you are. One brother's from New York. The other guy is from, I think he's from Texas. But like I said, I sent out all the books, and I appreciate you guys supporting me. I hope you enjoy the book. I'm going to talk on, even though I have the game plan for the game pieces, I still have the game piece sale going on. 6 game pieces for $50, or you get a 15 game pieces for $100, or you can get 10 game pieces for $80. Okay, and other than that, you can get them. Go to Patreon, Hollywood Shante, and go to the game plan, and pick the best one that suits you. Also, the whole game library, which is 66 game pieces now. I just made a new one. 66 game pieces. That's $450. Okay. Now, I'm talking. We've been on here for a little over an hour, and I'm just checking to see. You guys should really have them questions ready. Every week I ask you guys for questions, and nobody don't give me the questions. What does it say? All right, Mike James, glasses up, man. Okay, here we go right here. Okay, here's a question right here. Right here. Okay. G the Gent, what was your favorite track to work that was not in California, and why? Well, that's a good question. My favorite track to work, I would have to say, wow. You know what, man? That's a damn good question, man. The favorite track, you know, man, I like that Apple, man. I like that Hunts Point, man. Hunts Point, you know, in the Apple. I like that track because, for one thing, the Brawls, they wasn't wearing nothing on that Hunts Point track in the Apple, and they was getting money. Plus, plus I got money on that track. I used to have my white bras work on Central Park East and that hotel in Manhattan and Fifth Ave, yeah. And they used to get money over there. So I like that. I like that New York track. And you know, I definitely love the Hollywood track, man. With nothing, ain't no track like Hollywood. Ain't no track I ever been on that compared to that Hollywood track. None, nowhere. You know, you're up there in the Bay, the Tenderloin, 14th and East, and you know, them tracks. Don't none of them compare to Hollywood. Hollywood got the best, nicest track anywhere, man. You know, I got to say that. I'm partial to Hollywood, but I got to say Hollywood, man. Okay. Let's see here. Khalid King, you still doing the blog talk, right? Yeah, I'm doing blog talk radio. You go to blogtalkradio.com/game for you. I missed doing the show last Friday, but I will be doing the show this Friday at 3:00 on Blog Talk Radio. blogtalkradio.com/game for you. Game is with a capital G. Okay, we got another question. Paradise Monzi. What about Brooklyn? I got down in Brooklyn too, man. I like that Brooklyn track too, man. Okay. Prince Elegance. What's your thoughts on choose night back in the day? Do you think it will ever come back into the game? Choose night. I don't know what you mean, choose night. I don't know if you mean choosing, because your thoughts on choose night. I don't know what choose night is, but if you're talking about choosing, as far as choosing go, coming through my area in Hollywood, hold the choose with money because there was so much money to be made out there, you know, and some bras might could, you know, hide out and choose a pimp with a bank, but a real pimp, he ain't go, his bra, a real pimp, if she think about choosing, she ain't gonna have a chance to get no bankroll to stack up, because real pimping ain't with that shit, you know. Okay. Jigga 1017. Tay, how do you continue to uplift your game mentally and emotionally so that you remain sharp, intriguing, and never boring to your woman, both in the square world and in the game? So, okay, that goes back to what I said. You do that, Jigga 1017, through conversation. Man, listen, I always stress this: conversation makes the world go round. You won't have your lady for some time, get to know her. Turn her head inside out. Get to know her through conversation. You know, like I say, know what make her laugh, know what make her smile, know what make her cry, know what she like, know what turns her on, know them spots. Knowing that takes care of mentally and emotionally through conversation. You stay sharp because every day you got different conversation. Out of 365 days in a year, you know, you should never have the same conversation with your female. You should have 365 plus more of an arsenal of ammunition to spit at a woman on the shelves in your head. So that's the answer to your question, man. It's a good question. Preach to the game. How you speak on a lot of topics, and I get the feeling you never had a female that got raped or killed. But how do you cope with a situation like that? Well, man, I was in the game, man, for 30 years, man, and I've had a lot of ladies, man, that got raped. I never had a lady get killed, but I had a lot of ladies that got raped. I've had a couple of ladies that got beat real bad. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I've been through that. All that happens when you stay in the game. So the way you cope with a situation like that is that any obstacles that's in your way, you try to erase all obstacles. You try to do, you not try, you erase all obstacles. You do your best to make sure that the highway on the journey is clean with no distractions. So that's how you cope with it, by dealing with it, keeping your mind prepared mentally. And through that conversation, you're going to be sharp. You're going to be prepared. Here we go. Junior Frederick. Let me see here. What did he say here? What would you say are the most important traits that every man should have? Every man, the traits that every man should have, every man should be a real man. The traits a real man should have is not lying, being straight up, looking a man in the eyes when he's talking to him, looking at a female in the eyes when he's talking to him, not making up lies to make yourself look better. Make your conversation be true and be real. Keep the lying out of it, because all lies, you know, eventually got to come to a head. Good traits of being a man is just be real. Just be real and believe in you. And believe that can't nobody be bigger and better than you. You believe that, you know, and you're gonna have them traits. You know, that's what it takes. Okay, here's another question. G the Gent, if you go back in time, what's one thing you would do different in the game to be more successful? G the Gent, that's a good question. And that's your second good question. So you definitely got a book coming. So if you could go back in time, you know, one thing that I would do different in the game to be more successful, and I'm just being honest with you, one thing I would do is I would say I would make more moves with my money. Because being honest and real, man, listen, coming through my era, we was having so much money and everybody was pimping. We all had the motto of pimp or die. That was our motto, man. Pimp or die. Nothing less. We were selling nothing but success and nothing less. And that's what it was all about. Pimp or die. That's all we thought about. That's all that was on our mind constantly. So the only thing I would do different is that I would save more money, man. I would stack more money. You know, I think I got out of the game probably with, you know, $250,000. But, you know, in answer to your question, I stack more money. That's what I do. Okay. We got here. We got Deluxe. How do you differentiate when to use manful pride versus foolish pride when dealing with a woman? And how do you differentiate and balance your ego and smooth macking to get cooperation? How do you differentiate when to use manful pride versus? Man, every day we use a manful pride. Every conversation, we gonna win. Every conversation, we gonna come out on top. We all got egos, and when you having it your way, and when you're a real man, your ego gonna be big. You know, we think we know everything. You think we got all the answers. So, the questions that we don't have the answers to, which I can't think which question that could be, you know, we go inside of ourselves and get with that man in the mirror and we answer those questions. So this way, when we step out and there's questions or situations that we in, we handle them because we work on ourselves. As men, we work on us. We work on us to erase as many obstacles that's in our way or holding us back or stopping us from, being able to lay down and go to sleep with a clear head about the decisions that we done made. All right. Deluxe, it's a good question, man. Okay, we got here. Geechee Sultan, question. Did you let your woman live together or their own place, and why? Well, it's like this. Some of my friends in the game, what worked for them is, getting a big house and having all eight ladies live together, and that worked for him. But that didn't work for me. I felt more comfortable, having my ladies with their own place, because I like their individuality. Like you got a house for the ladies. You got to keep when it's like that. You got to keep pulling one lady to the side. That some ladies, you got three ladies, you 3D. Out them ladies, that's 3D. One of them ladies, is that is the touchy feely kind. That touchy feely stuff. So she care about you, so she can't resist touching you. But when she touch you in front of the other girls, they get some kind of reaction. One lady want to talk, you got to put her to the side when you're in a house like that. You got to take her outside and go ride with her and kick it with her, because you don't want the other lady to hear what your conversation is. So like I say, it all depends on what works for you. It works. Some people, some pimps, it work for them having together. But like I say, for me, I kept mine separate. Okay. Let me see. Who's next with a question? Can you speak on the art of knocking squares and turnouts? Hey man, I'm gonna say it here. It said, Snoops, can you speak on the art of knocking squares and turnouts? In my arsenal, in my game library, I got Getting at a Square series. It's Getting at a Square Part 2, breaking down a square, flipping a square, and getting at a square in the club. So get them game pieces, man. And that question that you asked, all that information is in there. Okay. Paper chase. What was something you looked for in a bitch to decide if she would be a good turnout? Well, that's good. That's through that question right there. That comes through conversation. You talking to this lady, you talking to her every day. You want her to see the point. You want to paint that picture. You want her to see that picture. You want to paint the picture for her to show her where she can be if she put her hand in yours. You looking at her, you talking to her, you watching her body language, you listen to what come out of her mouth, you asking questions. That's how you know, through conversation. That's how you know what to look for in a broad. Just how she about it. Okay, let's see here. Next question. Okay, I answered that one. Okay, let's see. I answered that about what traits a man should have. Okay, here we go right here. There's another question. King Jew. If you're not fortunate enough to have a mentor in the game, what's the best way to build a conversation? The best way, like I just spoke on that, the best way to build a conversation about the game and about yourself is to keep practicing your conversation. You know what sounds good. You got to practice your conversation, man. You got to continue to practice your conversation. Can you guys give me 1 minute? I got to answer the door. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. All right. Next question. Okay, here we go right here. James Kane TV. Do you advise breaking with the old hoe? Do you advise breaking? Do you mean breaking? Do you mean like, do I advise breaking a hoe, an old hoe? Hey man, a hoe is a hoe. And if a hoe put herself in position to get out of pocket, then yeah, she should be broke. Yes. You know, any hoe out of pocket should be broke. That way she know that real pimping still exists. Okay, that's a good question, man. Okay, here's another question. Mike James, how much should you pursue a lady? In other words, how much should one persist? Well, in answer to that question, if you see you at this lady, you steady having a conversation. If you having this conversation and she like, you know, looking off, or you have a conversation, you know, she's not eye to eye with you, and you know, every time she might drift off and look like that, or she might be looking up here like that, or she might be fixed on something over here, you know, you having a conversation, you know, and you trying to have this lady, if she's not paying attention to you, you know, then you can either make her aware that you realize that she's not paying attention, or what, you know, what you're not, maybe you're not paying attention, you're not listening to me. What, am I boring? What, you don't like my conversation? You know, you can do that, or you can walk away, you know, and move on to the next lady, you know, because in answer to that question, how long or how much you should pursue them, I have to say it depends on how bad you want them or how much action you're getting. See, you got to know your action in order to get your action. You in the bar, you in the club, you in the park, you wherever. It's ladies around. If you're not looking for your action, how you gonna get some action? And once you get that action, then it's up to you to go to the arsenal and get into attack mode. Okay. Okay, here's a good question right here. Oh, Sirism. Top of it, Sirism. What are some of the keys to holding your woman for 10 plus years or more? Now, in answer to that question, one of some of the keys are, I suggest, just keep on making moves, because once you paint that picture for your lady, you know, and you not only painted that picture, but throughout those 10 years, you know, you making that picture come to life. So, but you continue to make moves. You never get stagnated. I always say, when you letting the lady see where her money going, and you know in her mind that she's measuring where she came from to where she is right now, which they do, you know, and we know that we on stage every day, and every day they watching us. We got to keep performing and coming up with new plays and new scripts for over 10 years. That's one of the keys. Conversation. Keep having something different to say. Keep painting that picture. Keep making that picture come alive. Everybody loves progress, and everybody loves happiness. A hoe's happiness is seeing you win. A hoe's happiness is seeing a smile on your face. That's what makes them happy. But give them a little more. Give them some conversation. If you continue to show them how you feel about them, years then that 10 gonna turn into 15, gonna turn into 20. Good question. That's a good question, Sufism. Okay. What's this question right here? Oh yeah, I already spoke on that one. Okay. All right. Let me see what we got here. Went through the choose night. Spoke on that. Let me see. I spoke on going back in time. Okay, here we go right here. Here's another question right here. Paradise Munzie. How can I slow down on the riddle game? Feels like everything I say is either I'm rhyming or it sounds like I'm overdoing it. How can I slow down with that? You know, man, coming through my era, you know, it was always a lot of pimps that when they talk, they do the little real thing, and all that sounds slick, and if it works for you, well, shit, man, keep popping the riddles. I mean, everybody have their own choice, of words and how they spit it out, so. It's all about how it sounds to you. So once again, this is why I say, get in the mirror, get in the mirror and talk to that man in the mirror. Practice your spiel, come with your spiel, and then just throw a few little riddles up in there, but practice on yourself. Practice how you sound. That's a good question, man. I like that. All right. Let's see. Any more questions? Let me see here. Oh, okay. Here's another question right here. All right. Cameron Deal. Okay. He says, what age do you start having kids in the game? And how did it affect you, OG? You know what, man? That's a good question. And my answer is this right here. After I had my folks, like each lady that got with me, after they was with me for a couple of years, they'd all come and ask that same question because, like I be telling you guys, when you get these ladies, these ladies is young. You grooming these ladies, you taking the place of their parents. So you grooming these. And you taking these ladies to school, you teaching these ladies how to treat men, and the pimping teaching ladies how men treat women. It's a process. It's a growing process. So after that 10-year mark, man, them ladies start asking about having kids. I say after the 10-year mark. Now, I know some guys that's, had kids by ladies under the 10-year mark, but I'm saying that's me. That's me. So after I had my one lady 10 years, I was with her 12 years. And to be honest with you, man, it really affected my game. I had the same 4 bras. I had the same 4 bunnies for 14, 15 years. Okay, now, when I decided to let this broad have a baby, she had been with me like, I think 11 years. The other 3 ladies had been with me under 10 years. And each of them, I'd had to go get them an abortion a couple of times and all that kind of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And, but once all the other ladies found out that she was pregnant, and she was a little thin broad, so she hid it real well. But then once she had the baby, the day I was 7 deep the day that my son was born. And when that hoe had that baby, I went from 7 deep. No, I was 8 deep. I went from 8 deep down to 4 deep. when I had that when my broad had my son, I lost 5 bras, man. I lost 5 hoes in that one night. Why? Because the average hoe, think of pimping, as not having no doggone kids in the game, until you're at the end of the game. So I understood why I had that problem. And if I had to do it all over again, I would not have a doggone kid, until I was, ready to be through with the game. So, but things might be different now, but them babies and in the game, that cause you that'd be a problem. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. Okay. Let's see. I asked about my favorite track, uplifting the game mentally. Okay. JP, got a good question. What's the biggest difference in the game during today compared to your heyday? Well, in my heyday, man, we was really pimping. We wasn't making no deals. I'm saying? So the difference from what I see is that coming through my era, we straight up pimp. Hoes love the game. They wanted to pay pimping. They wanted to see pimping win because they know that they part of pimping, and when pimping win, they win because there's no I in team at all. So plus coming through my era, you understand me? We eat, slept, drink, thought, pimping. Our motto was pimp or die. Either I'm gonna pimp on a hoe or I'm not gonna eat. We were serious about the game. We kept our game. We kept our nose to the grindstone in the game. I'm talking about from head to toe. See, pimps nowadays, they just, they Ike and Mike, they all look alike. You understand what I'm saying? A group of pimps nowadays, 5 of y'all walking down the street, a hoe can't tell if y'all a pimp or a jacker or a gangbanger. But coming through my era, pimping stood out because pimping got recognized. Pimping let people know there was pimping going on and don't think nothing less. And when they see and recognize pimping, they knew it was pimping. Nowadays, you got to guess. You got to guess if it's a pimp or a gangbanger. Should I shake his hand? Or should I pull a gun out? That's the difference. Okay. Here's another question. Oh yeah, I spoke on that. Yeah, I spoke on that. Can you speak on how the knocking turnouts and how you get sharper with knocking as you get out? I got older. Well, I would always watch and listen to what older pimps said and did. That's how I learned the game, because I would say, oh, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. I said, no, that I'm not gonna do, But the longer you stay in the game, the more dues you pay, the more knowledge you get about the game. The only way you win in the game and get longevity is study it. Whatever your trade is, whatever it is that you get your money with, you got to study it. If you really want something in life and you work at a job and you got a goal that you really want, and you work in that job and that job is not providing, or that job ain't helping you, with a clear path to winning, then you need to get 2 jobs. If you own your goal, and you straight ahead and you working on it every day, and then 2 jobs ain't enough, well, then maybe you need to get 3 jobs. I'm saying that to say, whatever you do, you got to make yourself get sharper. The more time you spend in anything you do, the more knowledge you're going to get. Okay. All right, let me see, man. Say, man, now, I told you guys that there's 2 questions. I'm giving away a free book and free shipping. I'm just looking up here to see if there's any more questions. So, yeah, okay, here we go. T. Booker, he said, so what I got as a 13 minutes in this conversation is the war zone. And in order to conquer her soul, you got to disguise your arsenal. Well, you don't have to disguise your arsenal, but you got to come real and correct with your arsenal. You got to have your conversation prepared, and most conversations start off with a question to open her up. So you want to have a conversation with her, you already got your arsenal. You didn't already practice your arsenal. Your arsenal means this. You got something, a different conversation. Excuse me. You got a different conversation for whenever baby open up her mouth. Because whenever a female and a man, whenever they open up their mouth, they spill their brains in the first 5 minutes. Trying to get to know you, trying to impress you, trying to see if you're paying attention to what they're saying. You feed off her conversation by you asking the question. You already know the answers. You know how she should react. Man, talk to that man in the mirror. That's a good question, T. Booker. Okay. Anthony Wright, top of it. So, hey, Anthony, today we having the drawing. So the people who got the best 2 questions going to receive a book. And as I told you guys earlier, as I say on every show, these books was dedicated by Anthony Wright, Cash for Houses, LAC. Top of it, man. All right. Prince Pierre. And here's a big boy with his question. Say, why don't you get back in the game? You already got one on the team. Yeah, man. Yeah, I do have one on the team. But as far as getting back in the game, to be honest with you, man, they got the game so ugly right now. The game is so raggedy until, I'm saying, anytime pimping go out and pimping putting in work, and pimping get threatened, you understand, which I don't give a fuck, because like I tell anybody, man, I'm too old to start being scared now. But anyway, back to what you said. That's why I don't get back in the game. Because another reason why I don't get back in the game is because of my age, meaning this right here. Because a lot of y'all out there call yourself pimping. Y'all so disrespectful to the game, and y'all so disrespectful to other pimps until the only way that I would get back in the game is I would have to take off 30 years. So I'd be in good shape. So for when one of you disrespectful ass so-called pimps says something out of line, I could get in your ass. Pimping is a contact sport, but some of you pimps out there, y'all so disrespectful until I just wish I could be 30 years younger so I can get in your motherfucking ass. So that's why I don't get back in the game. You understand what I'm saying? I'd have to be Muhammad Ali on you motherfucking square ass non-pimping niggas. Okay. Let me see. Any more questions? Hey man, y'all. Okay, so far we have top of it, Fidel Cash Flow, top of it, man. Divine Joseph, top of it. Now listen, man, you guys got to remember that it's okay to ask a question, man. We men here, man. If y'all ain't asking no question, that must mean you know everything. You must know everything. So you don't need me on here. Why I'm on here, man, before I let y'all go, man, I really got to speak on this support, man, you guys got to be purchasing some game pieces, man. You guys got to be supporting the show, because once again, I'm going to say it again, I ain't on here to entertain you. That's not why I'm on here. I'm on here to give you some knowledge about life and give you knowledge about the game and to make your road, make your journey to your path to success. I'm here to make it a little bit softer, you know, because the more knowledge you get about life, the more knowledge you get about of how to win, you know, you get to thinking winning, and then you concentrate on winning. You want to get 50,000, then you got to gain the knowledge, you know, to get 50,000. Then once you get that 50, you got to gain some more knowledge so you know how to get 100,000. Life is about knowledge and conversation. You got to know what you're talking about before you open up your mouth and say it. Any situation that you're in, how about you work on this? How about you work on being the first to speak up? It's like when two boxers come in the ring. The first round, they kind of feel each other out, you know. But you know, I was a youngster. I did some boxing in the Golden Gloves, you know. But I had a different attitude, you know. Probably why I didn't make it being a boxer. Because when I come out the corner, and we touch gloves, I ain't worrying about, you know, what punch he throwing. I ain't worried about his defense, you know, because I know I'm gonna have my defense. Hey man, when I touch gloves, I'm coming at your ass. I ain't filling you out. I'm not dancing around. I'm not wasting no time. I'm coming at your ass. So in life, it should be the same thing. When you're getting at abroad, it should be the same thing. You know, you're lonely, you know, you're sitting at home watching TV by your damn self. You know, you're sitting up here thinking about abroad. You see these commercials, you see these movies, you know, people together, they looking happy. You want that. So don't you think it makes sense to get in the mirror, you know, and practice your conversation, get in the mirror and, you know, get to know you, trade places, you know, with a female, you in the mirror, you know, and you thinking, well, if she say this, then I'm going to say that. But I'm going to start off saying this. I'm going to take the conversation here. And I'm going to ask her this question. And when she asks this question, I'm coming back with that question. And then if she answers that question, then I'm going to start getting a little bit more intimate with the conversation. See, I provide all this information in my game pieces. I can sit on here and pop it to you from A to Z on how to knock abroad. I could do that. And those of you that's ready, you might could take it and not. But 50% of y'all, listen, 50% of y'all can be wanting and waiting and planning and hoping and wishing to have a female. Then when she right in front of you, she right in front of your face, you don't even know how. You start a conversation and then you don't even know how to close the conversation. You don't even know how to end the conversation. So you like leave the conversation up in the air. You leave the conversation in the air because you don't know how to close. The way you close is through practicing your conversation. You don't leave the conversation wide open. You close it. Close it means you're getting results. You're getting the answer to the question that you asked. Come on now. Man, you guys, you got to think, man. Just, you talking to the man in the mirror. Just think about what you think that she would want to hear. Now, you want some pussy, most of y'all. So if it's like that, you're going to sit there and think of a conversation on how to get in this bro's pants. You take the time to think, to say, you know, you take all that time and effort to to think about what you're going to say to baby. And then she right here in your face, she right there. You'll dig hard in the motherfucker. And you know that if you say the right thing to her, you know, you fixing to get this pussy. But you freeze up. You don't know what to say. Then you wind up going home with a hard dick because you didn't know how to close the conversation to get baby in your car. Take your ass back home. You ain't defeated. You just lost that round, but you're not defeated. Go home, get with that man in the mirror, and kick it. That's what I want you to do. Man, you can't find you if you don't practice. You can't catch that broad if you don't go through 10 or 20 before you get that right one. Man, that's how life go. Okay, let me see, man. If anybody else got any questions, man. There's a lot of people on here listening. I'm glad we going on 2 hours right now. And I appreciate you guys hanging with me, man. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say I'm not on here to entertain you. I'm on here to give you some knowledge, you know. And as I give you this knowledge, you show your appreciation to me in the game by getting these game pieces, by buying that book, by tuning in to the show. You know, I'm saying, you know, support the game and support this show. All right. Let me see here. Any more questions? Hey, man, where you guys come? Where your questions at? So let me see. So far, G the Gent, he got a book coming. He won a book because he has some good questions. Let me see. Willie Hill, top of it. Ron Soul, top of it, man. Mr. Snuff, top of it, man. King Diamond, Doobie G, Sir Duhada, DVO. Okay, here's a question right here. I guess is it against the grain to put in work when the hoe is with her pimp? Oh, yeah, that's a no-no. So in other words, you saying that the hoe with her pimp, and you gonna put in work on the hoe while she with the pimping? Is if you mean like that, that's a no-no. But if you putting in work while the hoe is with a pimp, well, that's your job. That's your job to do that. You know, that's your job, man. It's a good question, DeVille. So Sir G the Gent, he got a book coming. He has some good questions. I'm trying to see on here who else has some okay, here's another question from Swell right here. I realize I'm not using my females right. My relationships always end bad. I give them affection, knowledge, gifts, dick. How's a female to be used? Well, first of all, Swell, we don't use females. That's the first of all, that first statement is wrong. We don't use females. We build females. We build females, you know, into what we want them to be. And maybe your relationships always ends bad because you keep trying to use a female. Female is not to be used. A female is to be taken up under your wing and make her part of you and go to the winner's circle. So first of all, think about having a female and not using the female. Okay. Next question. Just trying to see, man, anybody else got any questions? Okay, so like I say, man, G the Gent, he asked a good question. Okay, here's another question right here. Let's see what Jigga 1017. How do you sit a square down as a square? Okay, how do you sit a square down as a square to be about your issue in business? Last one I had, we were starting an office cleaning service, but I had a stroke and she bounced after seeing me back on my feet. How do you sit a square down as a square to be about your issue in business? Well, first of all, if she with you and you know her and you know she with you, then you're not gonna have to sit her down at all, because being a part of you, she should want to be on your team and she should want to assist you in what you're doing. Now, you got sick and baby bounced and she wasn't for you. As we have a lady, we let them know what we're about. We let them know our likes, our dislikes. You know, we want to know what make them laugh and what make them cry. We want to know this woman, and we do that through conversation. So as you sit her down, you know, and kick it with her, and make sure that she on the same page as you, and that y'all going down the same road together with no deflections. And man, if she by your side, then you're not gonna have to sit her down and tell her nothing, because she's gonna be listening to what come out your mouth. She's gonna be right there with you in the mix. That's a good question, though. Okay, so I'm see who else gonna get in the book. Okay, here's another question right here. How do you keep your sexual desires under control while getting at a woman's mind and at her brain? Well, you know, to answer that question, you know, all guys are different, man. See, I say, when I see a lady, when I'm getting at a lady, you know, when I see a lady, what I see is, you know, I see dollar signs, you know, or I look at her and I be like, man, you know what? I could really use her in my program. You know, I could do this with her. I could do that with her, you know, but I never think about the sex. That's going to come. That's going to come naturally. Because with me, I'm thinking, man, after I do all this sweating, shit, what comes next? What come after I get the pussy? What's next? I need to know what's next before I even, you know, get sweaty. But I guess I'm just a little different, because pussy, you can get pussy anytime. But having a female, having her as yours, now that's a little harder to do. Because that's going to take some conversation. That's going to take some strategy. That's going to take some knowledge. So sexual desires is just part of the plan. That come natural. My plan is, what can I get out of her? You know, how can she benefit my program? How can she benefit me? Okay, that's a good question. All right. Let's see here. Here's another question. Mac Red, what happened to all of your ladies when you retired? Hey, man, after having my ladies for 14, 15 years, after all those years, the same four, one of the ladies, she liked that I had for all those years. She liked pussy just as much as I had, as I like pussy. So, you know, she asked my permission if she could marry this broad. So that's where one of them went. Another one, her mom got sick, and her mom owned a lot of property and stuff, you know, so she went home to take care of her mom, you know, and then that's what happened to her. And then another one of the ladies, the third one, she developed cancer and she went home. And then the fourth one, I wind up having her for 25 years. And then after 25 years, you know, we just wind up being on a different page, and we just part as friends. That's my baby's mama. She got my son. Okay, so now that's what happened in answer to your question, but that's a good question. Okay, let me see here. Any more questions, man? Let's see here. What do you do if she die on the job? Tay, rated R. Man, if she die on the job, man, you just got to keep going, man. You know, You got to keep going. You know, the game don't stop. Life don't stop. Here's Deluxe. Deluxe, you had some good questions. So that's two people. Deluxe, and where's my pen? Deluxe and G the Gent. So far, got books coming. What is the ultimate mindset as a man, Mac Pimp? Excuse me. Has to have in order to keep the upper hand with this woman and to keep her locked through all her emotions and devices. How to view her and himself. What is the ultimate mindset as a man does a man have to have in order to keep the upper hand with his woman? You answer that. What is the ultimate mindset as a man? You have to be a man first. You have to believe in you. You got to believe you. You got to believe in you. You got to believe that you can leap a tall building in a single bounce and land on your feet. You got to believe that you can look through muddy water and spot land. In order to win and keep the lady sometime and keep her locked, you know, and handle her emotions, you got to learn how to handle your emotions first. Women live off emotions. As men, we don't live off emotions. But as men, we want to lock into the lady's emotions, which is an obstacle in our relationship. If we want to erase that, you know, tone down that, you know, those emotions. We can never erase the emotions of a lady because emotions gonna be there. We all will have emotions, but whether we live off our emotions, you know, that's what we not gonna do. As men, man, we keep our emotions intact. That's a good question. So Deluxe, and G the Gent, you know, they got books coming. Let me see. I got one. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more question. Man, I've been in there 2 hours and 13 minutes, but I'm gonna answer this one last question. Okay, have you ever had any confidence issues as you've grown older in spitting at or knocking a younger woman? If not, what keeps your mind in the heavens above? Well, first of all, man, to be honest, I've never had no confidence issues. Never. I was a teenager. We used to have a school dance on Fridays and on Thursdays. And on Thursdays, we had a sock hop at Oakwood Playground in Venice. So going to sock hop, all the girls is on one side of the gymnasium and all the guys is on the other side of the gymnasium. The music playing, it's maybe 2 people out there dancing or 3 at the most. Tell you about some confidence starting early. Man, when I walk in the gym with my partners, you know, 5 or 6 of us, they go right over there to what I call them being wallflowers. Me, man, I walk right over there. First broad I see, I grab her, pull her out there on the dance floor, get my dance on, mac on her, spit a few words, you know, stay on the floor. The next record, I go grab another one. Confidence, man. I done had confidence, man. You know, I think I came out the womb with confidence. You understand what I'm saying? So confidence is believing in yourself. Because I believe that I can have anything I want and any female that I want because I believe in me. Man, you believe in you, man, the world is yours. All right, man. So G the Gent and Deluxe. Surism, you already know you got a book coming, man. You know, but you say you want yours in person. Okay. All right, man. I have one more question I'm gonna answer, man. One more question, man. Okay, this is Wayman for Perez. For Perez. Oh, Wayman for Perez. Would you allow a female to come back if she thought it was greener on the other side, but seen it wasn't, and is not willing to get down with your movement? That's a good question, man. Would you allow a female to come back to your program? That depends on how she left your program. It depends on how she left, man. If she left just because she thought that it was a man better than you, but she jumped the fence and found out that he wasn't, and then she wanted to come back and she got her paper in order and came back, but she can't come back broke. She got her paper in order and came back. Yeah, I give her another shot. Because sometimes it takes some females a little longer to get it than other females, you know. And I tell her, yeah, this time maybe you'll listen a little bit better. You understand what I'm saying? Now, yeah, that's a good question, man. I like that, man. That's a real good question. All right. Let me see here. Dudes always say you got to talk shit to a bitch. What does talking shit to a bitch mean? Man, I don't know what talking. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what talking shit to a bitch is, because I come correct and I come honest. I don't talk shit. I talk facts to a broad. I come correct. You know, when I talk to a broad, I can see her ears turn up like a Doberman pincher, you know, when a cat run through, you know, and picks in his food. And you know how he look when his ears stand straight up. When I'm talking to a broad, that's the kind of reaction I get. That kind of reaction I'm going to demand. So I don't know about talking shit, you understand me? But I'm going to have a conversation with the broad. Ain't going to be no airtime in between the conversation. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to get my point across, and I'm going to be watching her movement. I'm going to be watching how she moves, man. So, you know, I don't know what talking shit is, man, but I'll be popping game to a broad, man. Okay. All right, man. When a man's around a woman, should his swag be like? His swag should be, you know, he should act bigger than he is. You should always act and think like a millionaire, you know, and carry yourself like one, whether you are a millionaire or not in money. You still could be a millionaire in mind and in your heart. Okay. All right. Now, all right, man. One more question, man. Okay. Tay, I've heard you mention numerous times that you took other pimps' women. What did you incorporate into your game that gave you the edge over your competition? See, that's a good question. And you got to understand that what gave me the edge was putting myself in position to look like a pimp. Giving my broads game and letting them know that when they on that track, their job is more than just to bring my money home. Their job is also to bring me another hoe or put me up on another hoe, you understand me, that she didn't talk to and found out that she was unhappy. See, this is a problem with a lot of pimps. When you send that girl to work, you know, you got to let her know that her job is not only to get you your money, her job is also to bring you another hoe home or put you up on an unhappy hoe. Now, I hope that answers your question, man, you know, because plus reputation is another thing that had me knock a lot of pimps. Looking like the pimping, being the pimping, standing up for the pimping, looking visible. The pimping, man, the game, the knowledge you got, your reputation, all that spreads nationwide. Your reputation is more important in the game to you than any amount of money, any amount. And if more pimps thought like that, the game wouldn't be as tore up as it is right now today. All right, it's a good question, man. All right, man. So we got Deluxe. He won the book. G the Gent and Jigga 1017. So Jigga 1017, Deluxe, and G the Gent. I need you guys to go to my IG, send me your name, send me your address, send me the name that you make me know who you are. So that's Deluxe, Jigga 1017, and G the Gent. I appreciate you guys' questions, you know, and you got a book coming. Go to my IG, which is Shante Parker, send me your name and send me your address. It's been a good show, man. I appreciate you guys hanging in with me. I want you guys to come up with some questions, some good questions. And next week, I'm going to give away 2 free books. So appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I want you to remember that you're the prize. You control the universe. The universe surrounds you. Everything that happens starts with you. You are the core of your life. You control your life. You control your destiny. But you got to have a plan. Otherwise, you like a chicken running around with his head cut off. You like steady bumping your head against the wall, knowing that wall ain't gonna never fall down. Knowledge about life and self is what's gonna get you to win. Not survive. See, a lot of y'all, you go through life just surviving. How about you start today? No more surviving. Let's work on winning. You surviving every day. Let's work on winning. Let's work on making them dreams come true. Because if you can dream it, you can make it come true. It ain't gonna be easy. You're gonna have to work at it. Work on you first. Get to know who you are. Once you know who you are, then you can lead. And baby gonna follow. You got to give her some ammunition. You got to give her something to want. You got to make her know through conversation that she can jump off the porch and roll with you. Conversation, man. Work on it. I holler.